Oh! Well, they're not gonna be talking. They got cooked well done in that crash. Hey guys, Madison here, back for another Film Friday, and today I am watching Bullitt. Not B-U-L-L-E-T, but B-U-L-L-I-T-T. I don't know what the significance of that is. Is Bullitt the main character's name? I have no idea what the significance of that is, but I will find out. This is another completely blind watch for me. The only thing I know about it is Steve McQueen is playing the lead, and it involves a car chase. This was one of the movies that was recently gifted to me in a mailbag video, and I think I read the back of it, but it's been several weeks since then, and I have completely forgotten it. So we're going in for another completely blind watch today. I really enjoyed Steve McQueen in Towering Inferno and The Magnificent Seven. I believe he was in that one as well. So I've really enjoyed him in both movies of his that I've watched so far, and I'm excited to see him in an action film. So without further ado, guys, we're going to jump right in here and start the movie. So let's check out Bullitt. Man, that is an old school Warner Brothers logo. Robert Duvall. What's going on here? Some kind of thievery? Friend or foe? My goodness. Is this like criminals versus criminals?
This is Pete. We lost him.
He's your brother, Russ. If you can't find him, we have people who will.
His brother. So he let him get away because he's his brother, but he's working for another rival gang or something? What's happening here?
Have you got a message from Mr. Ross? Johnny Ross.
Sorry, sir. Nothing.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, sir.
Goodness, that one happened fast, guys. I don't think I've sneezed since Ben-Hur during a reaction.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sure it was him. Sunshine Cab 6912.
Uh-oh.
Cabby, would you pull up? I want to make a call.
Right.
He's been spotted. Does he know something's up because the message wasn't there?
Yeah.
Frank!
Let me in, will you?
There he is.
What time did you get to bed this morning, Frank?
About 5.
Goodness.
Nelson's ground license for the vaccine, you mind?
Why don't you just relax and have your orange juice? Shut up, Dougie.
He grumpy. This is a fancy party. Gonna have the rich folks here. They're all ladies. Is he investigating something? Oh, there's one man here.
Thanks for coming over. Name is Frank, isn't it? Please call me Walter.
I wanted to see what they were talking about. Okay.
Well, there's a Senate subcommittee hearing here Monday. Now, I have a star witness who needs protection.
Protection from who?
The organization. His name is Ross. Johnny Ross from Chicago.
Where?
The Hotel Daniels, room 634. He's there now, expecting you.
Interesting.
Have him in court on Monday, Frank.
His life's about to get a whole lot more exciting. Although I guess his life is already pretty exciting if he was getting in bed at 5 a.m. He must have stayed up late working on a case or something.
Yeah, who is it?
Police. Roof and the exit.
Yep, there's the dude.
How did you get here from Chicago?
I flew.
Sounds kind of risky.
How come you picked this room the whole lot?
I didn't pick it. Chalmers picked it. Why?
Stay away from those windows. That's why.
You better get a fix on some food. I know Chalmers wants you to be happy, and we'll do the best we can.
Oh, that's a creepy swinging light bulb if I ever saw one.
Captain?
Frank?
What do you know about Ross?
He had access to all the records. He ran the wire
There's
services
a deli
with
down
Brother
the block.
Pete.
Did Chalmers ask for me?
Uh-huh. He's grooming himself for public office.
Okay.
Say, who were you talking to about me on that telephone?
And all you've got to worry about, Ross, is just staying away from those windows, especially at night.
And you better hope nobody gets past your guards that you've stationed on the roof and elsewhere, or they'll just barge in there and kill him. They're gonna have to come a long way to get to him, though, going from Chicago to San Fran.
Is this the new fountain?
Fountain? All the client can afford is a leaky faucet.
That is a trippy fan. Looks like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
I want to use 600 gallons of water per minute. Now, what's the velocity per second of a 5-inch pipe? Look to the extreme right. Now go down the figures until you find 600.
All those numbers. Whew. Makes my head hurt.
Now I want the loss in feet. Well?
I've lost my place.
His wife, I assume? Or at least his girl. I don't think he has a ring on. They kind of just breezed past that scene, so maybe it's just his girl. Or maybe not his girl. Maybe he's just a little bit of a flirt. This is the first bit of music we've had since the opening. And it's in-scene music, not just soundtrack. He is with that girl. Okay.
Yes.
Del, I'm coming off now.
Everything okay?
Yeah, sure.
Aha.
What was it?
Del,
Something exciting?
go to sleep.
Meaning you won't tell me anything.
It's not for you, baby.
Anything you do is part of me.
So I wonder if this is like kind of a new thing or like how long they've been together. Seems kind of like a newer relationship.
Frank?
Yeah.
Chalmers downstairs with another man. They want to come up.
Chalmers at 1 o'clock in the morning? No, don't let him in. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Please, away from the door.
Does this man have any self-preservation? I mean, I guess he did because he flew here to hide out, but I mean, yeah, get away from the door. Bad idea. Oh, shoot. I was afraid this was gonna happen. They just busted their way right in there. Uh-oh.
No, wait. Now look, he told me.
Oh, no. He did. He gone. Protection failed. Now what? His whole job was to protect that guy. Now it's a murder investigation. Good grief. Yikes. Senator is not going to be happy.
Who is it? Ross. 2 guys. They got him with a shotgun.
What about Stan?
They got him in the leg.
As soon as the lab men get out of 634, seal it.
I'm surprised they didn't just kill the policeman too. No witnesses. Who's that?
How bad?
Bad, he's got a bleeder.
Hit an artery.
Do you remember anything?
Okay. One who fired, about 5'10", white hair, gun, Winchester pump. Frank? Chain was off. He unlocked the door.
Who unlocked it?
Ross.
Why would he unlock the door when he knows those guys are looking for him and we're gonna kill him probably? Like, doesn't make any sense.
Let's go.
Great. Scissors, Jones?
I wouldn't think they would have just let Frank walk in there with him, but maybe the rules were different back then.
Your buddy's all right. His legs will be okay.
How's Stan? He'll be all right, but he's busted up. Ross?
I don't know, Frank.
It's best to get on an intercostal thosis and move him away.
What's his blood pressure now? It's down to 90 over 70.
That's bad.
How much blood do you have?
Another retractor? We have 4 up here. We've ordered 4 more units.
Alexander, please.
Mayo, please.
Peanut shelly, please.
Feels very real the way they're shooting this.
What are his chances?
No more than 50-50. We stopped the hemorrhaging, but they got some of the major blood vessels.
Goodness. Is that guy still alive? I thought he was just straight up dead. I mean, it was like he got shot in the head with a shotgun. How is he alive? I thought there was no way he survived.
How come they got in?
Ross got to the door, unhooked the chain from the inside.
Why would he do a thing like that?
A valid question.
I had to call Chalmers. Didn't get down too good. Now he can't produce the big surprise he promised everyone. He may try to make up some mileage by laying it on us.
Does Chalmers run this case or do I?
All I'm interested in is results. Do whatever you think is best.
Appreciate it, Captain.
Where is he?
Like wondering if the senator is involved in this somehow.
Now, what went wrong, Lieutenant?
Who else knew where he was? They knew where to look for him, and they used your name to get in.
Are you suggesting I disclosed his whereabouts?
Perhaps.
And it didn't come from us.
That's hardly the issue.
Isn't it?
I want to know about Ross. What was the deal you made with him?
Lieutenant, don't try to evade the responsibility.
No, you don't try to evade giving answers.
I assure you I shall not suffer the consequence of your incompetence. I'm rather certain I can prove negligence on your part. And maybe another attempt on his life. I'll be back in the morning.
Oh, do you have some inclination about there being another attempt on his life? Man, that senator is sketchy. Ooh, and he seems very eager to take Frank down for some reason. Frank is on to him, though. He knows he's dirty.
A relative of mine, he's here with a gunshot wound. Could you please tell me where I can find him?
Well, he could be up on the second floor in the emergency room.
Thanks. Thanks, Doc.
We don't know who this man is. He could be another assassin. He had white hair, like the policeman said the shooter had.
The man just asked me whether a relative of his with a gunshot wound was in the hospital.
You about 5'10", gray hair?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I'm afraid I told him that he was on the second floor.
Thank you.
Tell Getty.
I think our man's in the building, and he was tipped where to find Ross. Get in Ross's room. Nobody in except Dr. Willard and the nurses.
Here we go.
There's the man down the stairs.
Get after him, get after him. So many places to hide. And he could be long gone, but I feel like he's hanging around trying to take a second shot at Ross. I don't know if he'd give up that quick. Oh, there he is. What is that, a screwdriver? Good lord. Is he gonna kill him with a screwdriver? Gotta be that one. Oh, no way. He got out through there? Bars over it. Can't have. What? Lock the door behind him. I liked that shot. I like some of the angle choices in this. Some of the shots are just really interesting. Man, he got away again.
Polly, call anesthesia and bring the crash cart.
Uh-oh. Hope it's not one of our dudes.
Get Del Getty, and you and the patrolman cover the lobby. Okay.
Is that Ross? Yep.
Draw some up.
All right.
Any pupillary reaction?
No, dilated and fixed. Get some calcium up, too.
Timing of that was kind of weird. I wonder if another guy snuck in and did something to him while Frank was chasing the other dude. Like, came in and injected him with something.
You want to get some more epinephrine?
I want this kept open. If Chalmers finds out that Ross died, he's gonna fold this up, and I want the man that killed him. But I don't want your head on a block.
I understand. His chart could be misplaced.
You filed it, it's missing. I'll take the responsibility.
Wow, he's really asking that doctor to stick his neck out for him. I wonder if they had kind of an ongoing relationship, you know, from all the times that Frank's probably been in there dealing with stuff. And they're kind of friends by this point.
City morgue.
Well, he ended up dying anyway. I was shocked that he survived it all in the first place, but we lost him. Cool shot right here. I like how they framed the street. Man, he just pulled like another all-nighter. He's having a rough week. He went in there prepared. He was like, grocery list? Nah, I got it all memorized.
See if Dr. Willard's still in the hospital. Get Lieutenant Bullitt on the phone.
Not Lieutenant Bullitt. So that's his name, Frank Bullitt. I figured.
There was a patient here. His name is Johnny Ross. He was in intensive care, but there's no record of his whereabouts in the hospital. May I see his medical chart, please?
I'm sorry, but hospital regulations...
It's an official police request.
Yes, Captain. I'll take care of it.
Giving him the runaround.
Can't reach Lieutenant Bullitt either.
All right, keep trying.
I'm sorry, I can't find Mr. Ross's medical chart. It's evidently been misplaced.
Misplaced.
I'm certain he grabbed my witness for his personal aggrandizement.
I have Lieutenant Bullitt.
All right, where's my witness?
I've got him.
Where is he? Are you going to tell me or not?
Well, I can at the present time.
Captain Baker would like to have a word with you.
Now listen to me, Lieutenant.
Oh man, Frank's gonna be lucky to get out of this one unscathed. He's styling today. Blue turtleneck with the brown jacket. It's a look. And she has probably no idea the crazy night he had. Although she knows that he wasn't around probably. And she did seem to have a little bit of a contemplative look as he left. Like, she knows there's stuff going on that he's not telling her, but I'm sure she doesn't realize the extent of it. Because she was being curious, like trying to get him to tell her before, and he wouldn't.
Now think back to the time the two of them first came in and you saw them.
They hit me before I got a chance to look at them. I don't remember nothing about it. Nothing.
Delgetti, take him downtown.
Okay, come on.
One thing about the guy who hit me, he had a square face.
Like this?
That's it.
Let's go to the guy in 634. He came in empty, which means you gave him a good look over.
Always do. They're the ones I give the eye to.
Love that vintage car and the nodding German Shepherd, always nodding his approval. And that used to be such a cool childhood experience going through the car wash. I mean, was it not? Is it just me who thought that was cool?
His first stop was the Mark.
How long?
Not long.
Pull over there and wait.
Hello.
Eddie, I need some information on a Johnny Ross in Chicago.
Meet you in Enrico's.
Right.
He's got the bluest eyes, man. They're just so intense. He's got that intense, piercing stare down.
They called twice. The second was long distance.
How do you know it was long distance?
He put in a lot of change.
That's Robert Duvall. Oh my gosh, it just hit me. Really, really young Robert Duvall.
It must be difficult raising children in the world of today. I can well imagine the financial strain of sending a boy to the university on the salary of a captain. But there's no reason why a man with your potential, Sam, shouldn't move right up.
Oh, trying to bribe him.
Bullitt abducted my witness.
If he's moving Ross around, it's for a reason. It's his case, Mr. Chalmers.
I'm serving you with a writ of habeas corpus, making you responsible for the delivery of Ross.
Oh my gosh, this guy. I should have known the senator would be the bad guy. That's not at all surprising. Can't trust politicians.
The organization Chicago branch caught Johnny Ross with his hands in a till. They estimate he siphoned off about $2 million while operating their wire service.
So he took a lot of money from Chicago. A lot. What happened to that $2 million?
There you go. Take care, Lieutenant.
So weird seeing Robert Duvall as just like a taxi driver. He's just kind of in the background. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Oh, they watching you, bud. Ah, it's that guy again. He's back. Driving with black leather gloves on because he's extra. We're the baddies. We gotta wear black leather gloves at all times. Did they have fingerprints already at this point? I believe they did, so maybe they're planning on ditching the car at some point. He didn't want his fingerprints on it, on the steering wheel. Is he behind him now? The hunter becomes the hunted. Oh, we speeding up now? Oh, we mean business now. We're putting on the seatbelt. Oh, that would be scary, bouncing over the road like that. The hills in San Fran are crazy. Uh-oh. This is cool. Man, I've never been to San Francisco, but these roads are just crazy. The incline. Beating that car to death. Can't outdrive Steve McQueen. Whoa. Get him, Bullitt, come on. Don't let him get away again. Going outside city limits now. Cool motorcycle stunt there. He's got a lot of ground to make up now. He's like, I thought I lost him. Oh no. Oh goodness. Oh. It's more anxiety inducing when they have the camera right over, like right behind the dash, filming straight out the windshield, because it's like you're in the car with them. Look out, Bullitt. Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude. Well, they're not gonna be talking. They just got burned to a crisp. They got cooked well done in that crash.
Where's Ross? He's dead. I've got him downstairs under a John Doe. I've got one lead. I want to move on it.
Miss Dorothy Simmons, Thunderbolt Hotel, San Mateo.
Ross called her person to person from a phone booth in Union Square.
This is Sunday. I'm going to hold that written until we come to work Monday morning.
This poor police captain, he wants to support Bullitt so bad, but he's just getting put between a rock and a hard place, trying to defend him and his roguish methods.
Need a car?
Sorry, Lieutenant. There's no cars left.
Back to you as soon as I
can. In the cute little convertible now.
Miss Simmons doesn't answer.
What's your room number?
Front. Take this gentleman to room 114, please.
I wonder if he's told her anything else about what's going on, or if she's just completely in the dark still. What's going on now? He almost just wiped out right there.
They said they'd have a print man a photographer down here as soon as they could.
Oh, she's dead. Oh my goodness. She wasn't supposed to see that. Man, everyone connected to this case ends up dead. That's what happens when the mafia's involved.
I thought I knew you, but I'm not so sure anymore. Do you let anything reach you? You're living in a sewer, Frank, day after day.
That's where half of it is. You can't walk away from it.
Well, he's a policeman. He can't help it. It's part of his job.
Your world is so far from the one I know. What will happen to us in time?
Sounds like you need to break up with him if you're that upset about his line of work. It's only gonna get worse.
Lieutenant, Miss Simmons' luggage has just arrived from the airport.
Okay. You got a man here.
Dearborn Travel Agency in Chicago. Rome. What do you make out of that? I thought she was alone.
She's got a guy now.
Everything is new. Really on the way.
Was she buying a lot of new stuff with some of the money he stole?
Albert E. Rennick. Who the hell is Simmons?
Look how much money he's got. Look at this. This guy's loaded.
Pretty much.
Look what I came up with. Dorothy Rennick.
Were these their aliases that they were going to use? Because this is Ross's girlfriend's stuff, right? That they're going through. They going to escape to Rome together? Was that the plan? And who is Simmons?
Call immigration in Chicago. Have them wire Rennick's passport applications. I'll get a fingerprint check on Ross, huh?
Okay.
Captain Bennett told you had until Monday morning to comply with my writ of habeas corpus. I want a signed admission now that Ross died while he was in your custody.
When I'm ready.
Lieutenant, your photographs are coming through.
I'll be right up, thank you.
Hey, if there's no rule or law saying he has to give it to you now, he doesn't have to. He can wait until Monday.
Ross.
Albert Edward Rennick.
Who's Rennick?
He was the man who was shot at the Hotel Daniel. He sent us to guard the wrong man, Mr. Chalmers.
What? Are you telling me that wasn't Ross?
Mrs. Dorothy Rennick and Mr. Al Rennick have reservations on the 7 o'clock flight to Rome. Rennick has no record of arrests. He's clean, Frank.
Yeah, well, Ross took close to $2 million from the organization, and he set Rennick up to get the heat off of him.
What? Dude. What? So where's Ross? Oh my gosh. Didn't see that coming.
Do you have a Mr. Rennick on a 7 o'clock flight for Rome?
Yes, he confirmed his flight a half hour ago.
Call the gate, have them recheck all the passports.
But they're boarding
Which
now.
gate?
73.
Thank you.
So Ross is going to be posing as the other guy trying to get on his flight?
No smoking, please, beyond this point.
How are they going to know?
Passenger service. You have a Rennick and Ali Rennick, flight 124 to London. Thank you. At the last minute on a Rome ticket.
So he suspected and switched flights at the last minute.
However, all passengers are requested to disembark and remain.
That's him. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I fell for that they switched him out and I didn't realize it at the start. What is he doing here?
He's still my witness. I'll be delighted to let you have him after he testifies.
Oh my goodness, this guy.
The organization, several murders. Could do us both a great deal of good.
Look, Chalmers, let's understand each other. I don't like you.
Frank, we must all compromise.
Bullshit. Get the hell out of here now.
You tell him, Bullitt.
Thank you.
That was a great little eye twitch there, waiting for his man to appear. There he is. Hope he didn't have a gun on him. He's making a run for it. You better get him. There he goes. Ooh, that's quite a jump. Could break an ankle doing that. Dadgummit, don't let him get away.
Give me the security guard.
Oh, gee. He has a gun. Look out. Look out. Oh, gosh. It's so perilous with all these planes on the runway taking off. Go, Bullitt, go. Look out. Is it gonna run inside? It's like the hospital all over again, but much, much bigger. I hope he succeeds this time.
Ticket, please.
Oh. Got him. Now he's dead too. I mean, they can't criticize Bullitt this time. The man had literally just killed a policeman. I mean, that was self-defense, man. Interesting. Interesting shot there. She's still there. I half expected her to be gone. Wow, it just ends there. Wow, guys, that was really interesting. I mean, again, I went in totally blind to this movie, so I had no idea what the premise was or anything. I knew I was just expecting kind of an action flick. And my patrons had made me aware that there was a car chase scene in this film that was kind of the mother of car chases in a way, the first car chase filmed without any sped up footage as they were shot before. The first modern car chase, if you will, and that was really cool seeing that. First of all, kind of seeing the car chase that inspired future car chases. It was really well done. I loved, as I said before, especially the shots inside the car, looking out the windshield. The way those were done really made me feel like I was in the car with them, and that really upped the tension in those scenes. I was like wanting to grab the steering wheel. That car chase was really, really well done, and in the setting of San Francisco, like going over those sharp inclines and the cars like soaring through the air was really, really cool. Man, I just want to talk about the story and the meaning here, because that's what really grabbed me at the end. First of all, I was very shocked with how abruptly it ended, and it was not the kind of ending I was expecting, like tie up the case with a bow. I mean, I guess it kind of was, because Ross died at the end, so that was kind of a dead end, for lack of a better term. So I mean, I guess there was nothing left to do at that point, although, I mean, I guess he had the money on him, everything that he stole, I don't know. Although he wasn't carrying like a suitcase or anything, he just ran for it. I don't know what happened to the $2 million. That wasn't the point of the story. By the end of it, I was going, oh wow, this story is not about the case that Bullitt is working on. This movie is about Bullitt and who he is as a person and what his life is like. We see throughout the movie the toll it takes on him personally, his job, and the toll it takes on his personal life too, his relationship with his girlfriend. She doesn't handle the stress well of his lifestyle, and his coldness, how callous he becomes because of his job. Because inevitably, if you're any kind of law enforcement officer, you're gonna get desensitized to violence and dead bodies, all sorts of things, because you see it fairly often, maybe not all the time, depending on what city, what area you're in. You may not see it as often as some others, but inevitably, if you're just visiting crime scene after crime scene, you're going to get more and more desensitized to it. And I mean, you have to, it's your job. But she didn't like how it made him, and him being involved with this case kept putting him in more and more violent situations, car chases, shootouts, and either like the people were dead when he showed up or they were dead when he left because he had to kill them. I mean, it was some crazy situations, and it was really interesting seeing that tag on the senator. I kept calling him the senator, but now I'm questioning. I can't even remember if he was already senator or if he was campaigning to be senator. The politician, let's call him that. He had that support your local police sticker on the back of his car, but yet the whole movie he was doing nothing but interfere with the local police and trying to corrupt the local police. I mean, trying to bribe and trying to corrupt Bullitt, like talking about giving up your integrity basically to try to advance your career and advance your name, which is obviously what politicians are trying to do all the time, is to build their popularity and try to do things not necessarily because it's the right thing to do, but they're trying to gain popularity and respect among the general population. Like, oh, he achieved this, he did this, he was involved with this case, you know, trying to one-up each other. And it's all about their ego, all about their career, and it's not actually because they care about doing the right thing. And so he was doing nothing but interfere with Bullitt and his way of handling the case the entire movie. And Bullitt was just a local man trying to do his job. He was doing the best he could with what he knew at the time, and kind of just was in the wrong place at the wrong time a lot throughout the movie. Like, with the first car chase, when those two guys he was chasing down ended up dead because they crashed and burned, literally. Like, it's not like Bullitt was trying to make that happen. He was trying to catch the guy who he thought killed Ross at the time. And I mean, he was just doing the best he could with what he knew at the time, and things just kept going wrong, and you don't see much, like, the toll it takes on him throughout the movie. You have little moments where you can see the stress of the situation weighing on him, but he's very stoic. And I found that last scene of the movie very telling, when he just goes home, his girlfriend's asleep, and he just goes in there and looks in the mirror. It was almost like a what have I become moment, just looking at himself in the mirror, and the very last shot of, like, his badge and stuff that he left on the railing. It's like, I don't know if this is what the filmmakers were going for, but it very much felt like a film about local law enforcement and the crap they have to go through every single day. That's what it felt like. Like, these guys are just trying to do their job, and they have to go through all this crap every single day. The sleepless nights, the crime scenes, the shootouts. They go through a lot, and we should appreciate them for... We should appreciate the good ones. We should appreciate the good ones for all they do on our behalf, trying to protect people, keep them safe, track down the bad guys, bring them to justice, put them in jail. Of course, there's bad ones in every occupation, but this movie felt like a movie for the good ones. Like, appreciate your local law enforcement. They go through crap every single day that we can only imagine. Their spouses go through incredible amounts of stress. Like, is my husband going to come home today? They don't know. They go through a lot, and they showed a little bit of the stress that the occupation puts on relationships in this movie. That was just... yeah, a heck of a look that Steve McQueen gave in the mirror at the end. He feels very much like a character that compartmentalizes, because that's how he copes. That's how he has to cope with his job. It's like, this is my job over here. Like, it's interesting, because even when you're killing bad people, like in self-defense or whatever the situation is, or by accident, the car crash, that has to weigh on you, even though it's like you didn't murder somebody. It was self-defense. You did what you had to do, but you still killed somebody, and so that weighs on you. You think about it, it takes a toll, even when you're killing bad people. And they did a really good job of showing and not telling that in this movie. There was the conversation between him and his girlfriend, where she talks basically about him becoming kind of cold and callous and hardened to it all. But for most of the film, it was just it was showing and letting us see. And I think that was really well done. I found myself focusing a lot on the plot throughout the movie, trying to solve the case. I mean, it wasn't a mystery. There was the mystery of, we thought we had Ross and that Ross was dead, but it wasn't Ross. That was the plot twist, where it was like, oh, he never had Ross. Ross is not dead. He's actually still trying to get away. That was the big plot twist. But I had no idea how they were going to wrap that up, because it was obviously, they kept talking about the organization, and that's such a big thing. Like, it just felt like a mafia kind of thing, that I was like, they can't wrap all that up. It's not like they're going to take down the organization in this movie. It was a smaller, more intimate story than that. So I figured there was going to be some final confrontation between Bullitt and the politician, which there was, but we didn't get to see him, like, if he got taken to court, like how that ended up resolving, which was interesting. That's kind of how I was anticipating things to get wrapped up, like what was going to happen to Bullitt. Was he going to get punished for how he handled the case? Like, Was he going to get fired? What was going to happen with all that? We don't know. Because again, that was not the point. I thought it was, but that was kind of like a red herring of like dealing with Ross and the case and all of that. It all ended up feeling like a red herring at the end. Like, that's not what we were supposed to be focusing on. We were supposed to be focusing on Bullitt and a day in the life of a policeman, basically. And it was a really interesting film, especially like I was trying to figure it out at first, like what kind of movie is this? Like when we started off with the robbery, with Ross stealing everything, I was like, is this going to be a gang against gang kind of movie? Like, what's going on here? I was trying to figure it out and get my footing for a while, and then I slowly was like, oh, okay, we've got a detective story here. Like, he's going to be guarding this guy, trying to keep him alive, and then turns out he didn't even have the right guy, and it was throwing me for a loop there. But blind watches like this, they can throw you for a loop because you have no idea what you're in for. And you're trying to get your footing for a while and figure it out, like what kind of movie am I watching? And it did certainly set a very distinct vibe very quickly off the bat. Once we got to Bullitt and seeing what he did and seeing his connection to the crime that happened, that was when I felt like I kind of got my footing with the movie, like, okay, this is what we're doing. But then that ending was great. I know I keep talking about the ending, but that was when it really came into focus for me what this movie was, how it all wrapped up. And it was really, really interesting. I've never seen one quite like that. Really interesting twist on the genre in this kind of movie. Not your typical detective story or policeman dealing with a crime story. Not your typical way that it's handled and wrapped up. They left things more open-ended and kind of allow us to imagine how things turned out after that. And it was a much more internal story than I realized. And it was really, really cool how they did it. And how they presented it without shoving it down your throat. Like, this is what the movie's about, you know? I think the most on-the-nose thing they did was the sticker on the back of the politician's car as he drives away at the end. I think that was the most on-the-nose. And the last shot, like, this is what it's about. It was about the badge. It was about the man wearing the badge. Really, really cool movie. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I believe it was Celeste. I believe it was you who sent in Bullitt. If I misremembered, I'm sorry, but I believe it was you who sent me Bullitt in the mailbag video. And thank you, because before that I had no idea this movie existed. So thank you for that. Thank you to everybody who voted for it on the Patreon poll this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Be sure to hit like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't. Check out that link below if you want to see the full-length watch along over on my Patreon and all of my other full-length reactions as well. There's like over 100 of them now. Go check them out. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you next week for another Film Friday.